Hey guys, in this video we are going to begin building our React application based on the Flux application architecture. Now, in order to do that, we are going to need to install some tools. I'm going to be using Gulp for my build process. However, you can easily find a Grunt equivalent for anything you see me doing here. And I am installing Gulp, Gulp Browserify, Gulp Concat, React, and Reactify. Okay, now that that's installed, let's go ahead and set up our gulp file. And then we're going to go ahead and create just kind of our basic directory structure here. So I'm going to have a directory called source. In there, we are going to create our index.html file. Then we're going to move into a directory called JS for JavaScript. And here we're going to create a main.js. And we're also going to create a series of directories that we're going to use as we're building out our Flux application. So we're going to have actions, components, stores, dispatchers, constants. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this gulp file up and running. We're going to set up a real simple gulp build process. So if you haven't used Gulp, this is a great chance to learn about it. But again, this is going to be a real simple build process. So we've got Browserify, we've got Gulp, and then we need Concat. Okay, we're going to set up our first Gulp task, and this is going to be our Browserify task. And so we've got our source, which is going to be source/js/main.js. And then we are going to pass that into Browserify. And to Browserify, we're going to pass an object with a key of transform. And then we're going to tap into our Reactify library. And that's going to convert all of our JSX over to JavaScript. Then we just need our destination folder, which is going to be dist. You know what? Actually, I skipped something there. We're going to need to concat all that. So concat, and here's going to be our new main.js file. So there's our Browserify task. We need one more. We just need to copy that index.html over to the dist directory, and actually this main.js is going to go into dist.js. So this we'll just call it copy. And there's plugins to do what I'm about to do. But this will work just fine. So index.html, and then just our destination is going to be the dist directory. Okay, so we're going to create our default task, which is just going to run Browserify and copy. And then just for good measure, we're going to create a watch task. Watch, and this will watch everything in source, and if something there changes, it'll run the default task. Okay, so our gulp build process is looking good. Now let's set up our index.html. And we're dropping in just a basic HTML page. I've got Bootstrap on it. Here in the body, I'm going to create a div with an ID of main. I'm going to give it a class of container. Main is going to be our target for our React application. Container is just some Bootstrap to, keep things looking nice. And then our source on this, or our script for this, is going to be js/main.js. Whoops. js/main.js. So let's go ahead and get that up and running. Here's our main. And here we're just going to create a real simple JSX file. We are going to have to create a single component here, so we're going to call it app, and we're just going to require that. That's going to be from components/app. Just app. We don't need the .js for that. And then of course we're going to need React. And then we're just going to render our component. And in this case, it's going to be app, We're going to render that to the main div. Okay, so that's looking good. Now we need to create this component. We don't have any components in here, so app.js. And again, we're doing JSX. We're going to, again, require React here. So equals require React. And we're just going to create a really simple component called app, and it's just going to return an h1 with my app. And then of course we need to export that, so it exports app. Okay, this is looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and check out our gulp build. So when we run our default task, and let me get to this root directory. When we run our default task, we should see that dist directory get created with the JavaScript directory, and then our main in that, and our index file in the root of that dist directory. Let's go ahead and try that out. Okay, so we've got our dist directory, our main, and our index.html. And let's go ahead and run our watch task. Cool, so we can see it watching. So let's jump to this and load it up in the browser really quick. Awesome, we can see, my app. Let's kind of move this around a little bit. And if we jump over to our app component, let's call it my Flux app. And the watch process is running. We'll reload that here, and cool. Our build process is working, and we've got everything in place to start diving into the Flux application architecture.